go inside and we're going to follow up on some Open Record Act requests and such. Okay, so let's look at what I got here. All right, we got this March 6, 2023 letter. And this letter was written to the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs, to Mark Woodward, Communications Director, and to the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs, care of the Open Records Custodian. And in it, I posted this on my Facebook page. It's a long letter, but it asks for documents. And I sent this electronically because they provide for it being sent electronically. Well, I got a letter the other day that basically said, we'll get to you when we get to you, and they didn't want to provide these things expeditiously to me because they thought it was just, a long request. Well, I'm sorry. It's not really that complicated. Things like emails, text messages, video, stuff like that, that's not complicated. It's all from the stuff from March the 6th. See, the Open Records Act doesn't require me to give them any amount of time. I can actually show up and request them in person like I'm doing today, but I gave them 10 days. I gave them 10 days from March the 9th. So that would have been March the 19th, and today is what, folks? What is today? 24. So I gave them 15 days on this one. And on this one, March the 16th, this one was just a small request, a few things about correspondence between them and a hearing officer. And I gave them till Tuesday on this one because I had planned on being back here Tuesday. I got sick on Tuesday, so I'm here today on Friday. So they've had longer. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in there and we are going to request our records. There's this Open Records Act thing that we're talking about. It shall be open to any person for inspection, copying, or mechanical reproduction during regular business hours. And we're here during regular business hours. Now, what happens if they don't do that? Well, any public official who willfully violates any provision of the Oklahoma Open Records Act upon conviction shall be guilty of a misdemeanor or imprisonment, county jail, not to exceed 1 year. So what am I going to do if they don't produce me the records this time? Anybody have a guess? Want to drop a comment in there? Guess what I'm going to do if they don't produce the records here in just a minute? Anybody want to venture a guess? What are we going to do? What is Ron going to do today? Anybody have a guess? Anybody have a guess? You're right. We're going to call the Oklahoma City Police Department, and we're going to file a police report and ask that they arrest these folks for violation of the Open Records Act and book them for misdemeanor, punishable up to 1 year in prison. So let's go see if they'll give us what we want. The doors are locked. You knew I was coming. And I did receive response from your attorney saying you guys were working on it.
Yes.
So I want those records today. And then I also had a request, on March the 9th, that I'm here now in person during regular business hours asking for. I'm also requesting to inspect all administrative filings currently on record for the last 6 months that you guys have in this office. So I'd like to see those and inspect those.
They're working on it. No, you're not going to get it now. They're still working on it.
I'm going to call the police. I'm going to call and respond and report you guys for misdemeanor violation of the Open Records Act. So I just want to let you know, I'm going to go ahead and call the police.
You're welcome. That's your right.
Absolutely it is, and I'm going to do it. Yes, ma'am, I need an officer to respond for a non-emergency situation. Thank you. Yes, ma'am, I need an officer to respond for a misdemeanor that's been committed by the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs at their offices. The address of that I can give to you. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am, it is the Oklahoma City Police deal, ma'am. Y'all have jurisdiction over their office, and they're committing a misdemeanor in your jurisdiction. So I need an officer to come over here and do a report and arrest these folks for me, please. Yes, ma'am, absolutely. I'll give you an address. Where do you put the address? That is 419 Northeast 38th Terrace, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Tomorrow we'll see you in the officers, baby. Well, there you have it, folks. Denied again. In person, in public, during regular business hours, from inspecting anything at all. So, as I explained to you outside, it's a misdemeanor, so we're called the cops. So we'll see what the cops say.
There you go.
Hopefully not. We left them in.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, we didn't know. Good, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm the guy who called. My name is Ronald Durbin. I'm an attorney in Oklahoma and Tulsa. I submitted 2 Open Records Act requests. I'm going to hand to you guys. One was a March 9th, 2023 Open Records Act request, and one was a March 9th, 2023 Open Records Act request. For the video, can I get you guys to identify yourself and your badge numbers, please?
Sergeant Bell, 1611.
Thank you, Sergeant Bell.
Officer Mariconda, 2422.
Thank you, officer. Those Open Records Act requests were submitted by me in writing, pursuant to their rules. We have now presented ourselves here, well past the time provided for them in the Open Records Act request. We have presented ourselves in this office for them to provide the records. They are refusing to do so. Mr. Woodward is refusing to do so. I brought for you guys so you can educate yourself on the law. I have brought you a copy of Title 51, Section 24A.5 of the Open Records Act, which identifies governmental records. And if you take a look at the top right here, I'll read it to you. It says, all records of public bodies and public officials shall be open to any person for inspection, copying, or mechanical reproduction during regular business hours. Okay? Any confusion understanding that part of it? I'm going to give you a copy of the act. It says it right there in the top. Okay? We're here during regular business hours. If you call their main number, which we already have recorded on here, it identifies that right now is during regular business hours, that they are in regular business hours. They're refusing to provide those documents, so I'm going to provide you a copy of Title 51, Section 24A.17 of the Oklahoma Open Records Act, which makes a refusal to provide those records a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year in jail. So I would like to press charges against the OBNDD for violation of the Open Records Act. Could you guys identify yourselves? I didn't catch you guys. Bolton. Thank you.
Staff Sergeant Parsons, 1678.
Thank you, Staff Sergeant. And I'll ask again so you can see it in your presence. Mark, I would like to inspect a copy of the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs Employment Manual. I'd like to inspect the administrative records that have been filed in this agency in the last 90 days. And I'd like to inspect your policies and procedures on Open Records Act, among the other things that are listed in that. I'd like to inspect those now during regular business hours. I'm here presenting myself to view and inspect those records today. Are you still refusing to provide me that access?
As I've already said, we are processing your open records request, and we are going to get you everything that we are legally required to provide you.
You are not providing me them today. While you're open, I would like to inspect them. The act's very clear. These gentlemen can read it and decide whether you're committing a crime. It's up to them. But it's a misdemeanor committed in your presence. Just want to point that out. I really appreciate y'all's response time. I called the non-emergency number. 3 of you got 4 of you guys. That's a lot. Oh no, hypo. Do you have your body camera on?
Will again, yeah.
Okay, you didn't have it on back there. Were you talking to Mark Woodward back there and didn't have your body camera on?
That's true.
Okay.
I'm allowed to turn
I'll depose you later on that. That's no problem. Yeah, I'm going to depose you about whatever you talk about. So just so you know. Oh, hey, Lieutenant.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
Could you identify yourself just so
I
we
will
have?
give you my business card, sir.
All right,
What's
just for the
going
camera
on?
so everybody has it too.
That's fine. What's going on?
He can explain it to you. He's already got the story.
I came to talk to you because
Yeah, he's got the
apparently you wanted to
story.
call us. So
I didn't call you. I called the Oklahoma City Police Department.
Okay.
He's got the
So I can
information.
leave them?
He said he's gonna explain it to
Sir.
you. So we'll let him explain it to you.
I'll be courteous to you. You want a card too? Yes, sir. I do. You guys got them?
So we've got Lieutenant Alan Beatty, number 86, Troop Bar. Well, I mean, it depends on if you're going to do your job or not,
What do you
Trooper.
want me to do, sir?
I'd like to you to arrest him for violation of the Open Records Act. It's
Not
a
gonna
misdemeanor.
happen.
Why not?
You're an attorney. You already said that, right?
Yes.
Did you file the papers with the court?
I don't need to. I don't need to. If you look at the statutes that I provided him, it is a misdemeanor for him to, during public business hours, refuse me to inspect his records. I've asked him in public, in front of your officers, in front of those officers, to inspect public records that they have in this building. He has refused. Under the Open Records Act, of which I provided them all a copy, it's a misdemeanor.
Okay.
So I'd like them to be arrested for violating the Open Records Act. It's a misdemeanor.
Okay.
And if you guys have the jurisdiction, then go ahead and do it. If you're going to refuse, make a report and let's go on about our day.
Okay. We'll make a report.
All right, go ahead. Let's get it. No, they're not going to do anything. Can I ask why you're not going to enforce the Open Records Act? Is it because it's a state agency and you don't want to arrest your bros in blue?
There's a
What's the
witness
reason?
statement, sir?
No, I already gave you the statement. I don't need to fill out a statement. You can take a report. I told you the story. I don't want to fill out anything else. I've already told you the story.
Then give me your information.
Go ahead. Get his information first. I'm complaining about him. I'm going to give you my information. Absolutely. I'm going to give it to you. You ready to write it down?
Yes, sir. I asked you for it.
Ronald Durbin. So you're going to investigate the reports. It's a misdemeanor committed in your presence. It's in your presence. He's committed a misdemeanor, and you're refusing to do anything about it. A misdemeanor committed in your presence, his presence, and his presence. Guys, if you're refusing to, because you have jurisdiction here too. So if you're refusing to, just let me know, because I'm gonna file a complaint on everybody for this. If that's the way we got to go. So whatever you want to do. All right, I thought you might write faster. Durbin, D-U-R-B-I-N.
D-U-R?
Durbin, D-U. I'll speak real slow for you.
That's fine.
B-I-N.
D-U-R.
You seem a little stupid, so we'll talk to you slow.
Okay.
Okay. The second.
B-A-N?
B-I-N. B-I-N. I as an igloo.
Give me driver's license, it'll be a lot easier.
Igloo. I-N.
So, you want us to take a report.
I know. I want you to enforce the Open Records Act, which I have given your officer a copy of. Okay. Have you had a chance to review that to make sure that you're up to date on the law?
Have you submitted a records request to them?
I have. I'm here in person to do that.
That's
what I'm. Okay, Mark. I'd like a copy of your employment manual to inspect your employment manual for OBNDD officers. Right now, inspect it in person in your public while you're open during normal business hours. I'd like to inspect that. You're refusing, correct?
We are processing.
You're processing it. They don't have to, but processing it doesn't. Read the act. I gave them a copy of the act. They have to allow inspection during regular business hours. They don't have the right to process it, to delay it, to wait. They just don't have that right. I gave them a copy. The act is very, very clear. You have a body camera on?
No, we don't have body cams.
No? Funny how you don't have body cams. It's the hypo, because they're motherfucking pricks and they don't want to have body cams because then they'd be accountable for what they do because they're fucking pieces of shit.
That's it.
You know you are.
Me to come take a report.
I didn't call you, you fucking piece of shit. I called the city police. I would never call the hypo for a motherfucking thing. Your attitude reflects how you are.
Look, they're locked out.
They're locked out of the public building. Funny how you're locked out of a public building. That's hilarious. Could not have been better to get this. Badge to get in a public building. Love this. Love this. Man. Wow, you going in or are you staying out? Oh, okay. You staying out?
They're gonna lock you out.
You motherfucker.
Did they lock you out?
Yeah, they walked in the back anyway.
Yeah, that little fucking prick right there blocked the door. You blocked the motherfucking door to get me locked out. You know what? I'll just go ring the bell.
It's locked.
I'd like to file a complaint, sir. Your officer assaulted me. He blocked my entrance and pushed me back from getting entrance and access to that door. I'd like to file a report against your officer. He assaulted me on your way into the building. I'd like to file a report and a complaint about your officer.
You guys are done here.
Okay, but what do I need to do to file a report about your officer?
I got your info.
Okay, I got it on video.
All right.
Yeah, he fucked up. He fucked up.
All right. Can't wait to see the video. See y'all. Y'all be safe.
Who are you again?
Trooper Reynolds.
Oh, hey, I do have another Open Records Act request. I like the video from out here, Mark, from today.
Submit it in writing and we'll process it.
Fuck y'all. Is this one yours? He didn't have his ammo secured or his gun.
He's standing right beside his car.
He's not standing right. Where is he at? He's not standing right beside his car. His fucking ammo and gun are unsecured in the fucking back of his car. You know that's a violation. He was inside. You know that was a violation of the policies and procedures. That was fucking stupid. That was fucking stupid. We'll file complaints about all that shit and go about all that. That was interesting. That was exciting.